What's up guys, Mash UK, Speed VR with another video for you. This is my final verdict on the Quest Pro versus the Quest 3. I say final, you know it's not going to be final. I'd like it to be final because, you know, I would like to actually fucking play these games instead of checking and testing and checking and testing and, you know. But as you can see, the Vario Aero is no longer here because it's waiting to be sent back. So I've got 2 dead pixels. So I'm the type of person that when something starts playing up, I just put it in my box and get it out of my life. Okay, so that's all boxed up, ready to be picked up to be replaced with a new one. So it's given me some opportunities really to put the Quest Pro through its paces with the Quest 3. So I'll start with the pros of the Quest Pro. Okay, comfort, black levels via local dimming, and colour saturation. Those are the pros for the Quest Pro. Pros for the Quest 3. Colour pass-through, although not perfect, comes in handy when you're sat in your rig and you need to read your screen. If you've got good lighting in your room, you can see your screen. You can see it enough to navigate round and do stuff. Yeah. And this is for these pros and cons are based on using it with the PC, okay, over link cable. I've not done anything on Wi-Fi, okay, and I'll get to that in another video. So pros of the Quest 2: pass through, slightly higher resolution, although not really noticeable. And I say that because there's too many other distracting factors when it comes to the Quest 3 when you're comparing it to the Quest Pro. And what I mean is, the Quest Pro's got a higher resolution. No, sorry, the Quest 3's got a higher resolution and a slightly wider field of view, vertical and horizontal. But because of the colours and the local dimming, you know, don't get me wrong, the colours are nice, but they're not as good as the Pro. So when you combine the colour palette and the local dimming, and when you compare that to the Pro's, to the Quest 3's higher resolution, it with the colour palette and the local dimming missing, not being as good, it kind of distracts you from the resolution. If the Quest Pro had the same resolution as the Quest 3, it'd be super duper, but it isn't. So I'm just letting you know what I'm seeing. Okay. So let's go over it again. Pros for sticking with the Pro: colour palette, local dimming, comfort. Okay, and build quality. Quest 3, much better pass through, slightly better resolution. and it's cheaper, I suppose, if you're on a budget. So I don't know what to use. I don't know what to use while I'm waiting for my aero to come back. I'm probably going to sway back to the Pro, which should really be sold, because I've dropped a lot of money this month. But let me show you my settings. Okay, so my settings on the Quest 3 are as follows. I'm running in 80 Hertz. I'm running at full resolution. That's a super sampled resolution, by the way. And here's my, I'm using the H.264 codec. The encoder resolution width is 4416. I've got the bit rate at 500. I'll talk about that in a minute. And I've got the link sharpening to quality. When I put it on normal, which is what a lot of people are saying you should have it on, I didn't like it. In fact, putting it on quality made it look very similar to the Pro. Okay, so with these settings, with a 13900K and a 4090, I was getting a locked 80 FPS in Automobilista 2 with a mixture of clouds, sunshine. I haven't tried it in rain or anything like that yet, but I did set the multiplier to 60, so I went from 7 o'clock in the morning on Nordschleife right the way through to 7 o'clock in the morning. You know, obviously speed it up because of 60 times time elapse. And nighttime driving, that is where I started to see the limitations of no local dimming, because on the Pro it was very nice. Yeah, because of the local dimming. It looks a bit greyish on the Quest 3. So I really don't know what to suggest, apart from, if you got a Quest Pro, you will miss your local dimming. If you play things like Elite Dangerous, where, you know, you're in the dark, you're in space, you're sim racing and you like to race at night, you will miss your local dimming. But over time, you'll forget that. You'll miss your comfort if you leave your Quest Pro. I actually like the fact that I can see my environment by looking down and to the side of my eyes. I like that screen floating in front of my face rather than being pushed up against my face. And I've got so used to that. I think that's why the Aero drove me mad for the first few weeks, especially wearing glasses. So I don't know, guys. You won't be disappointed with the Quest 3 if you're coming from a Valve Index or something like that. Coming from a HP Reverb G2, you'll miss that extra top up of clarity. But one thing you won't miss is all the fucking around with Windows Mixed Reality and that shit postage stamp sized field of sweet spot. Because the lenses in the Pro and the Quest 3 are identical. They are the best in the business. They're even better than the aspheric lenses in the Aero. Okay. And that probably goes for the Crystal as well, because Crystal uses aspheric lenses. So, I'm probably going to end up using the Pro until my Aero comes back. You see this here is encode bitrate set to 500. A lot of people are cutting and pasting a value of 940 in there, and they're going bonkers saying the Quest 3 is the sharpest it's ever looked by doing that, right? It is sharper, but there's a massive problem, and I mean massive. Even over link cable, and I've got the official £90 link cable because I'm a prat. But I know there's a difference between that and a cheap one. Don't get twisted on that one. I can talk all day about that. The big problem with banging that figure, the encode bitrate, over 600 is your photon latency, your application photon latency, right? In the Pro and the Quest 3, with it set to 500, I don't see any major distracting artifacts in the distance or up close over link. And my photon latency is between 45 and 55. Setting that encode bitrate to 940 might give you a sharper image, but your photon latency is over 100. And if you suffer with headaches and nausea and VR sickness, you're in serious trouble. And it makes me laugh because nobody talks about these things. You know, all the YouTubers at the moment, they just seem to be focused on the resolution for this headset. They're trying to justify upgrading to a Quest 3. And a lot of YouTubers, where they slagged it off to start with, are now starting to say, this is incredible. Because they're messing around with those encode bitrate values. But if you bring up the performance monitor in Oculus Debug Tool, you'll get good frame rates. I mean, I was getting 80 frames per second, but my photon latency was 126 upwards. It was a mess. So until someone can come up with a way to fix that, and the way to fix it at the moment, because I've tested it, is to lower that bitrate. I lowered it down to 600 and the photon latency went back to normal. But the only reason why I've got it set to 500 at the moment is because I can't see a difference between 500 and 600. So how people are seeing a difference from, you know, the default 200 up to 940, it just goes to show, doesn't it? People aren't looking at the full figures coming out of the system running at these values. So there you have it. It's up to you guys. If you haven't got a headset and you want one for sim racing and you don't want to be talking £1,000 upwards, you won't be going wrong with the Quest 3. If you're a Quest Pro owner and you love it for the same reasons that I love it, I would stick with your Quest Pro. Because even though it hasn't got the resolution, when you take away those really nice colours and that local dimming, that resolution just gets diminished when you compare it to the Quest 3. That's a true story. So, if you've got any questions, let me know and I'll try and answer them for you. The next test I'm going to do is Microsoft Flight Simulator. I finish 4 o'clock, so, and the missus is out tonight. Oh, she's out with the girls. So it's me and my dog, Domino's pizza, and 4 cans of Do As You're Told. And if you don't know what 4 cans of Do As You're Told is, it's 4 cans of Stella. Right then, guys. Any questions, let me know. Later.